What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. Hey, first off, let me say to Claress Shields and Kelsey DeSantis, salute to them. Claress Shields just won her third PFL fight. They had Bellator versus PFL champions, and I watched the card. I'm not gonna go through the card, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna talk about Shields and her win. It looked like she was in trouble from, this Kelsey DeSantis. She got in the armbar a couple of times, and it was looking like Shields might have been, you never know when somebody lock in any type of submission, like if they're gonna tap or not. She was trying, she was moving, she was fighting, she never stopped trying. And she said that in an interview that she definitely wants to work more on her ground game. And the fact is, she understands that the ground game is important. It's only a third fight. She's learning, and she's learning on the job as well. So for Shields, I'm watching this fight, and when she didn't tap, and she was able to get away with it, get out of it rather, not get away with it, get out of it. She was able to land some shots. She was doing damage to Kelsey DeSantis, and it was a good fight. Split decision win. She had a split decision loss, and the fight before that. So she's 2-1, and you know what? She'll probably never be as good in MMA as she is in boxing. Now, you never know, but at her age right now, not saying that she can't get better, and become really good. Maybe she can. I don't know what's gonna happen. She's solid though, man. Shields is a good fighter. She has a lot of heart, man, and basically, she understands, like she said, it's different. It's something she's never done before. And it's, so for her to become as good in this as she is in boxing, in all honesty, she'd have to let one go. Because the type of dedication that you have to have for both sports, and that's something that people salute to people for being goofballs and talking shit, but they don't salute hard work. They don't salute the fact that a person is really on their grind and getting better at their craft. She is a full-fledged MMA fighter. I don't care about all this, who you like, who you don't like nonsense. She won that fight, and that's all that matters. She got the job done. And, for her, and for people to say she's not going to be as good in MMA, she probably won't. More than likely, she won't ever be as good in MMA as she is in boxing. And you know what? She doesn't have to be, even though I'm pretty sure she'd like to be. But the accomplishments and for what she'd have to do at her age now and to do both, more than likely she won't. And this is basically nothing but people who want to see her lose talking shit. It's funny because, Savannah Marshall was there. You got different people that keep talking about, when Marshall starts doing MMA, watch. Okay? Watch what? Before Claressa went into MMA, what did we see that make her think that in MMA, aside from, we know she has stand-up, but what made us think she was going to be great, good, or whatever? You have to see what happens. It's a whole different sport. The fact of the matter is, these women are obsessed with Claress Shields because they just can't avoid talking about her. This woman already is, and this was in Saudi. Now, I would say to the Saudis, they should have put as much work into promoting this event of the PFL that they do in boxing, because a lot of people wasn't even aware that this event happened. And the one thing that this can help the PFL, definitely, because with the Saudis' reputation for wanting to put the best events on in boxing, so in MMA, this could help them. We know that in MMA, the UFC are like the big dogs. Doesn't mean that they don't have fighters in other leagues that can't beat the UFC guys. I mean, where do you think these guys come from anyway? But just saying, You know, when the UFC has an event, the MMA world pretty much is more intact with what's going on with it. And each company has their own fan base. So just saying, the UFC would have promoted this way better than what, you know, like this event should have been promoted far better than what it was. But even though that being said, Claressa did her thing. And, you know, when all of these women keep talking her name, it's like y'all have nothing going on in your careers if you're not talking about this one particular fighter. Remember, I said the same thing. I said Michaela Mayer need to forget about Alicia Baumgartner. After the first loss, not that she shouldn't want a rematch, okay? Or whatever she feel like she won, okay, whatever. But my thing is when a fighter is showing no interest in fighting you, and you spend more time talking about that fighter than what you have going on, that means you don't have much going on. And the reality is, if you look at how things went, especially with Michaela Mayer, you know, losing another fight, you know, it's the type of thing where Baumgartner only has the one defeat that she avenged. You know, she's on suspension, so she doesn't have anything going at this point. But it's bottom line, she's calling out a woman in Claress Shields that's not even in her weight class. She's not willing to go to her weight class. She's not even talking about going to 154. She's trying to call the shots against Amanda Serrano. She's saying, oh, I'll fight her, but if I fight her, are you paying me to fight 12 rounds? I mean, so she don't see the point. So she's trying to be the A side with everybody. If she fights Serrano, she's fighting for Serrano's belts, right? So, you know, you have to be willing to, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? But let's put it that way. And you can't really consider something a sacrifice when it's not a bother to you. So if anybody would be sacrificing anything, well, Serrano just went 12 rounds on her fight. Why don't you want to fight 12 rounds? And then to say people don't want to see females fight for 12 rounds. Okay, well, if you are who you say you are, they should want to see you fight for 12 rounds. They didn't have a problem watching Serrano go for 12 rounds. You understand what I mean? So it's like, no, you don't just say somebody's name and then, oh, okay, it's my rules. No, that's not how that works. You have to be the A side for that to happen. And then two, she make it sound like she's doing Serrano a favor. Then two, you got to look at the fact that, and look, if Baumgartner and Serrano fight, anybody's Baumgartner fight, I'm pulling for her to win. But she's doing some nonsense right now. Let's just be real. And for her, well, and it gets Shields. I'm not going against Shields against anybody either. So, but bottom line, for her to say what she's saying, and Marshall and all these people, whenever Shields' name come up, it's like, what do you guys have going on your own? Now, the reality is this, and Shields said something that I said some months ago last year, when we first got word about Marshall and Katie Taylor. He was just saying these different females' names that's supposed to be wanting to transition into MMA. If y'all think just because Shields did it, that, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it. You know, it's not just as simple as all that. These are things you have to want. It's not about just doing it because somebody else did it. You have to want it. Then on top of that, you know, Katie Taylor, I don't even know why her name came up. She's 35, 36. You know, you know, just saying, Marshall, all of these women, you guys have boxing careers. But it's like, it just goes to show you, when you have to say one person's name repeatedly, who are your next opponents? Even in boxing, you guys are not in the same weight class. And, you know, you could have had the rematch, but you didn't want to come to the States. Shields already went to the UK. So just saying, it's like, for all of this talk that people are doing, it's desperation, it's clout chasing. You know, I don't think people, like, I responded to something someone said in the comment section of one of my videos, and I don't know, let me make my point clear. You see, Cyborg, she tweeted, congratulations to Shields, right, for winning her fight. Somebody responded, retweeted, tweeted her and said, "I thought you guys were friends." And she goes, "We are. That's why I just congratulated her." They're not friends, people. And if you listen to Shields said in her post-conference interview, she said, "I don't give a damn about Cyborg." She said Cyborg is just mad because she was supposed to be here, but she turned the fight down. And I'm here. She's not the headliner. And like she said, she's older now. I told you guys the same thing. She's 38 years old. Nobody's talking about anything Cyborg is doing in a boxing ring or in MMA. Cyborg name just doesn't come up anymore. Okay, Cyborg was in her heyday when Ronda Rousey was relevant. You know how long ago that was? Have Cyborg moved on and went to different organizations and won, like Invicta and all these different places, and won titles and did different styles of fighting? Yes. But nobody's talking about Cyborg. So what is Cyborg doing? Well, hey, man, shit, Claress Shields is popping. Let me say her name. Now, when Shields responded to that tweet, and she told her, when Cyborg was tweeting about challenging Katie Taylor, and she said to her, "Pick on somebody your own size," there was no contract signed. Let's stop the bullshit. There was no contract signed. This was a, hey, pick on somebody your own size. You trying to get a name in boxing by calling out people that you know damn well you're not going to get a fight with. You understand what I mean? You don't call the shots. The same way she couldn't call the shots against Ronda Rousey. Rousey was telling her she'll go to 135. She won't go to 145 and fight her because she's a drug cheat. Come down to 135 if she really wants to fight. That's what Rousey told her. But Rousey said that she would go down to 135 to fight a returning Gina Carano, who Cyborg is retired. But bottom line is, y'all, when you break it down, when you're not the A side, you already know that. And when you are just calling someone's name trying to sound like you really want to fight, that's not the way it goes. And if you really want that smoke, even when you respond, don't say things like, "Hey, send a contract, we could fight at any weight." And then when the person responds and they go, "Okay, whatever, but you're going to come to 154 or 160, well, I can't make those weights." Okay. Is it any different from Terrence Crawford saying, "Oh, me and Errol Spence could definitely fight at 154. We could definitely make that happen," just to turn around and say, "Nah, 147 or no fight"? Come on. Anything Shields do, anything she's involved in, let's try to find fault on both ends. No, bottom line, if you don't want to fight her, don't call her name. It's as simple as that. I got some more to say about this, but I'm going to do this on a separate video. I just wanted to make this video to salute her and her win. And bottom line, I got a lot more to say. So I will be doing the second part of this video. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.